Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are back. It's Facebook Live with Beyond Indigo Pets. My name is Kelly Baltzell. I'm the owner and CEO of Beyond Indigo Pets. And today we have one of our team members, Chris Veneziale. I always butcher your last name. How do you say it, Chris?
Veneziale?
Oh, yes. It's so Italian, which is what you are, and I love it.
It is.
And you make it roll so beautiful. And Italian is such a beautiful language, and I am just not good at it. So I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah,
you won't be the first. You won't be the last.
My name's more German. It's from a country called Alsace-Lorraine that no longer exists. It got demolished in World War II because it was wedged between France and Germany, and it got sucked up. But apparently they have really good wine still. So anyway, trivia we never thought we covered today, but we're discussing hobbies. And you have a hobby that was near and dear to you that's kind of been put on the shelf a little bit because of COVID, but it's coming back, and that's music. Can you describe what your hobby is, please?
Yeah, so I am a musician. I primarily play the guitar. My family is rather musical. I have aunts and uncles and that have been musicians for most of their lives. But I started playing. I took classical piano lessons as a child. My parents got me into that. I did that for a number of years, having to practice every day and all that. So I gave it a few years and then told them I'm done. I'm finished. No more lessons. And then as I got older, I started to miss that. It was, I love music. I listen to music all the time. So I wanted to get back to it, but the piano just didn't seem practical because you can't bring it anywhere. So I decided to learn guitar. My brother was learning guitar too. He also took piano lessons. He taught himself guitar from what he knew from piano, and then I kind of took a cue from him and did the same thing.
That's pretty cool. So were you self-taught, or did you go take lessons somewhere?
On the guitar, I'm entirely self-taught.
That is really cool. And what type of guitar? What is your favorite? Like, is it acoustical? Is it bass? Is it banjo? What are we doing?
Acoustic guitar is my favorite. That's what I play the most. But when I'm playing with my band, I play electric.
Okay. And acoustical, are you classic guitar? My brother, I was one of those families where we were required to play a musical instrument until we were 18 years of age. So my brother did guitar and classical guitar, so he did a lot of Spanish music and a lot of that. It was gorgeous. And of course, I was the piano, so I get the whole can't pick up and port the piano concept easily, right? You can't stick that into the car and just go to a friend's house. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess no, I'm not classical. I taught myself mostly like classic rock and roll stuff. A lot of more singer songwriter like Bob Dylan type music. Mm-hmm. But as I've gotten older, I've really gravitated toward jazz. I like improv. I like making up music on the spot. There's something kind of exciting and unknown about that, especially in a live setting where, it could all work beautifully or it could all go off the rails at any at any given point in time. And that's kind of what I find most fun and what I gravitate towards playing now is just kind of improvised.
So when you have the band going, what type of genre do you guys focus on in the band? Is that a jazz band too, or?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. We call it jazz just because it is improv, but it's not jazz in the traditional sense of jazz. It's a little more I guess, avant-garde. We write all our own music for the most part. We we do a couple of jazz standards. We do some Miles Davis and John Coltrane, um, but most of what we play is stuff we wrote.
So so that's fascinating. So do you guys write it together as a group? Do one of you pick up and chart it out and draft it, and then the rest of you can add in? Like, I'm just really curious. What's the process?
It's usually, so our band is there's three of us. It's guitar, and then there's a bassist and a drummer.
Okay.
Usually I write the stuff, or our bass player comes up with something. The guitar, and then I'll bring it to practice and say, this is what I came up with. And the drummer and the bass player will kind of write their own parts around it. And then same thing, the bass player will say, hey, here's what I came up with. And then we'll do the same. And we just kind of play around with it until everything clicks. Sometimes it doesn't work and we scrap it, and sometimes it does.
And did you just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm going to write some music? Or was it just running through your head and then you wanted to put it down? Or kind of what was your journey with, because that's really cool. I mean, that's a really cool creative outlet that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I've been playing for a long time now, years and years. And I think I just got to a point where I was like, yeah, playing people's stuff is fun, but I think I would have more fun playing something that I wrote. And I just kind of went that direction.
And there you went. And so it was just kind of an organic rolling out. So, you started with your foundation of piano and learning music, right? Like learning the notes and the melodies and how all that went with your classical training. And then you picked up the guitar and learned that, taking the music theory and the notes. Once you read music, you read music.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's still music, just different ways of translating it with your instrument, I guess is a good way of saying it.
Yep.
Instead of hands on a keyboard or hands, on the guitar neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you got saying no, I want my own creative outlet. I don't want to play somebody else's ideas. I want to play my ideas. And then you figured out how to make that manifest and happen, right?
Yep. That's pretty much it.
And then who started the band and what's the name of it?
Our band is called Baffle the Cat. And the three of us kind of started it together. It just started out as we had a bi-weekly jam session at our drummer's house where anybody was welcome to stop by. We had it at a set, I forget what it was. It was maybe a Friday or Saturday, twice a month, and whoever could show up would show up, and whoever would miss it would miss it. So it just kind of came together organically over the years. We're a trio now. There was a point where there were 5 or 6 of us. And people fell away over the years, but the three of us have been playing together for a long time. So it just kind of came together organically.
And you guys were friends?
Yes. Yep.
Because some people find people on YouTube, or my father, when he was still around, was looking, he's a classical trained pianist. There's something like a dating service for musicians. I don't know what the name is. It's not dating. It's you're looking for a partner to play music with. So he liked accompanying a lot of violinists and things like that. And so he found a few through this connection app. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's I think being friends is a lot cooler.
Yeah, well, I mean, the drummer and I were friends before, and then our bass player, we actually met him in a bar. Like he was somebody that was playing in other
Right.
local bands, and we were trying to convince him come to one of our jam sessions, come to one, and it was like a year later he finally showed up, and it was one of those things where we all just clicked immediately, and we've been playing together ever since.
And what venues were you playing at? Or will be going back to, I assume.
Mostly just local. We're in Philadelphia, so it's mostly just been local bars, and most of the music venues that we played they've shut down. I mean, this was
Right.
before COVID. They were just not. I feel like people have been going out less and less to see live music. So a lot of the smaller local venues just have been closing here and there. And it's hard. I mean, a lot of them were open 7 nights a week, and there's like 3 or 4 bands every night. That gets. I think maybe some of it was just oversaturation, and then. And then people going out less, and then obviously COVID. So a lot of the venues that we've played in the past are not there anymore. So we'll be getting back to the ones that are, hopefully.
And maybe new ones will come up too.
Yeah.
Like a phoenix coming out of the ashes. Maybe there'll be some new venues and new ways of doing things and connecting with people. I've kind of always wondered, like in Ireland, the Irish back in the day, they have a certain dancing style, and they don't use their arms because they have music and dancing in people's homes, right? So they move the furniture out of the way, and then they would do the dancing, and then they'd have the trio in the corner. And that's where they socialized, in the village. And I'm like, well, are we going to go back to that for a little while, where we have people in our bubbles and then entertainment in, like, you're a trio playing in somebody's home for this bubble of people, right? And that
we have done that before.
Yeah.
And that's a ton of fun too. So yeah, that could be another direction to go in.
Well, thank you for sharing with us today, Chris. It's always fun to see people's hobbies and passions, and music brings so much joy to people. Like, I'm sure when you're with your band, you have a sense of joy and creation that doesn't come anywhere else in your life, because music creates us.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
So I look forward to you guys getting back together, or just even connecting on YouTube. It will be great.
Yeah, thanks. We look forward to it too.
And now I know you write music, so that's so cool.
I try.
I'm
not successful,
so
but
you're way ahead of me, so I think that's really cool. So thanks for sharing today.
Yeah, thank you.